Hello, this is Michele Knight. Welcome to your February astrology. February, the month of love. And we have some pretty frisky things going on in the cosmos. We have Venus, the planet of love, going into passionate, wild and spontaneous Aries. We have Mercury, the planet of communication, going into romantic, empathetic, but lack of boundaried Pisces. Now, when I talk about Mercury, I don't start talking about Mercury retrograde when it actually goes retrograde. I'm very passionate about Mercury retro shadow, because what people don't realise is that when Mercury's in retro shadow, which begins on the 2nd, it's more or less the same bloody thing. We all have to be careful from the 2nd of February. Anyway, there is much wonder as Venus goes into Aries, and we also have a full moon in luscious Leo. There's intensity, pleasure and passion to be had as long as we're careful about that old Mercury. Here is your monthly astrology. Hi Virgo, it's February and we have Mercury, your ruler, going retrograde. This has a massive impact on you, so it's really important that you think about your intimate relationships, your romantic relationships, your partnerships, your friendships, all those one-to-one meetings of emotion that make us feel balanced and healthy and happy and supported. How are your romantic relationships if you have one? If you're single, you want a relationship, what do you feel the block is? Funnily enough, you can probably work it out with Mercury retrograde by looking back to the past and looking how you related in previous relationships. How does that compare to how you are now? Also, because Venus, the planet of love, is going into your primal zone, it's a time when there's a lot of intense emotions coming to the surface, and you've made a decision in your soul, whether you know it or not, probably, to decide that you want to be equal in your relationships. If there's a power dynamic that isn't working, if somebody is the bossy one all the time, takes control, is the one in charge, or is doing something to make you not be allowed to be free, you may draw a line under it this month. However, if you are in a relationship and you feel disempowered, and so therefore you're not standing up for yourself, or you're not, you're scared because you feel someone's better than you, you are able to sort that out this month and go back to the past in your mind and find out where that wound is and how you can transform that wound. Venus is joining forces with Chiron, the wounded healer. So if there is any trauma, damage, woundedness in your past, I would actually recommend you get the perfect time to have a therapy session or a couples counselling session if you're in a relationship, to kind of deal with putting things back together again. Of course, Mercury's retrograde. I wouldn't expect any great healing to occur immediately, but it's not going to be retrograde for very long. So what is it that you want from your partnerships? If you are in a great relationship and there is some misunderstandings, just bear in mind it should clear up by March. But as in all of our relationships, when we do the work on ourselves, it changes our external relationships. So lots of stuff is coming up for you about what you want, who you truly are, what your authentic self is when it comes to your love relationships. Now, I can hear some of you going, but what about the money, Michele? What about the money? I'm not interested in love. Well, Venus, the planet of love, is also about money, as is the 8th house. So it may be that you are attracting some money to you this month. Make sure it's on the up and up, and don't do any dodgy deals and don't sign any contracts. Equally, don't enter any new relationships and give your heart and soul over in the first week. Be cautious, but allow yourself to be an attraction magnet. There's a lot of issues about power this month. How powerful you feel in yourself, how powerful you can be. And trust me, you have the ability to have unlimited power. The more we work on our stuff, the more we go into our soul, the more we reflect our true, authentic selves, the more success manifests around us. Now, the full moon is giving you a psychic revelation. It does that to everyone anyway, but yours is in the 12th house. Look out. You could find out some very important information around that full moon, and it'll be like, oh, that makes sense. That is something I did not know before, and it could change everything. A secret is exposed around that full moon. What else is occurring? Oh, lovely little thing for you. Thank goodness. We've got Mars, the planet of action and passion, going into your pleasure zone. Sounds good to me. So there is like passion and intensity and creativity, and you feeling very optimistic. So whatever is going on, even if you're doing some deep diving into your unconscious to heal yourself, there's generally, certainly after, let's say, the 16th, 17th, you're feeling optimistic and buoyant and hopeful and creative, and you are surging with pleasure. That's what we like to hear. The sun is shifting signs around the 19th and going into your relationship zone. So you're much more confident about your intimate relationships around that time. There's also a new moon in your relationship zone, so there's an ending and a beginning. It doesn't mean like an ending, although for some of you could be. It means you're in a new cycle. You're energetically in a new cycle. You're at a different level, and you're letting go of the past and starting again in some way. Interesting times. Take care, gorgeous, and I'll speak to you soon. If you want to check out your written monthly, weekly, yearly astrology, pop over to my website, michelleknight.com. I'm not doing readings at the moment, but I do have a company of some of the best psychics and astrologers in the world. I've had the company for 20 years. I handpick them and they are fabulous. So I'm going to start to show you, starting now, their little videos on here.
I'm Rosie. I'm a medium clairvoyant. I have a spirit guide who channels messages to me. The mediumship is absolutely wonderful because I'm just a messenger. I can empathise most definitely with people. I will also pick up on their emotions immediately as soon as I connect with someone. I'd like to describe myself as quite wise, a lot of life experience. I can identify a lot with a lot of the callers. I think if you've clocked up a few decades on this planet, it helps to make you a better reader because you can put yourself where the caller is. I like to really give people something about themselves, potentials in their own lives. Yeah, I like to be able to help people and empower them in some way, give them some answers if I can. I take my job very seriously because it's just people's lives you're dealing with. When somebody says to me, "Thank you, Rosie, I feel so much better talking to you," and I will often feel quite tearful myself, and I think, job done.